Hey guys, what's going on? Brian Martin United here with your daily news show. I know we are in the grueling days of a long international break, but please stick with me. I promise I will get you through it. While you are here, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. We are on the road to 100. We are on the road to 100. We are almost halfway there. Be part of history. Subscribe. Be part of that first 100 and get in the comments and let me know what I can do for you content wise. Content wise. All right. Stay focused. Anyway, here we go. So the transfer window and across the big five leagues has slammed shut. That happened on September 1st. However, there are two windows still open. One in Turkey that closes on September 11th, and one in the Saudi Pro League, which closes September 10th. We could see a couple guys head that way. Again, on the transfer window, like I've been saying, I give it a solid 6.5 out of 10. I think Rio Ferdinand gave it something higher. He's optimistic, right? He is a United, supporter, just like the rest of us. But a bit optimistic on that one. I gave it 6.5 out of 10. I said it was a good window to build on. I think we made the right moves, headed in the right direction. But we need to be patient. We need to be patient. In hindsight, I would have loved to have gotten a midfielder. I think there was a bid for Conor Gallagher in the dying hours, but it obviously did not materialize. Maybe we go back in for him in January. Although there is another midfielder who I think we will go back in for in January, and I'll tell you that in a bit here. So just stick around for that. Honestly, also in hindsight, I think loaning Toby Collier was probably not the best move, given our current situation with injuries, which I'll also update you on here in a moment. But yeah, just jumping really quickly to Tyrell Malacia. So Malacia is still looking for a move away. Before the transfer window closed, Elche was in the lead, but obviously the La Liga window has closed, so he is not going to Elche. So he's probably looking at a move to Turkey or the Saudi Pro League. Although, I think he could be a decent backup for Dorgu. Before Malacia was plagued with the injuries, I thought he was all right, actually, right? I thought he was all right. I know he had a loan spell back in the Netherlands. It did not go so well, but I think he can play his way back into a rotational player for when Dorgu is tired or, heaven forbid, knock on wood, injured, right? Onana and Bayendir, the two guys I was, really thinking about earlier when I said that the Saudi Pro League and the Turkish windows are still open. I think we should see both of them go. If I had to keep one, it would be Bayendir. I think there might be a little bit of room for improvement for Bayendir. Onana, I think he just needs to go. We'll be happy when we see the back of him on his way out of the United training ground. So yeah, we've got Lemons, right? So honestly, my goalkeeping core at this time would be Lemons as starting, uh, Heaton as the backup, or I'm sorry, Bayender's backup, and Heaton as the third choice goalkeeper. However, if we sell both Onana and Bayender, I would say Lemons number one, Heaton number two, and promote an academy kid to number three. Of course, I've been asked multiple times, what if Lamens doesn't work out? Then I say we go back in as soon as we can for Andrew Lunin. I think we should go for that guy. I've been beating the drum on that like crazy. People probably think I've got like an Andrew Lunin like shrine in my closet over there. I might. I'm just kidding. I don't. But yeah. So I've been beating the drum for that guy. I think there was talking him going to Fenerbahce at one point. But I think he needs to go to, a big league, right? Or bigger league, excuse me. No offense to the Turkish fans over there. I think he needs to be number one at a big club. He's sure he can handle it. Anyway, I won't keep going in on that. I've done it before in other videos. You know how I feel about Andrew Lunin. Um, Lemons, apparently he pissed off Royal Antwerp by jetting off to Manchester before the deal was officially agreed. That's according to the Manchester Evening News. The Emi Martinez deal, as you know, fell through. That fell through because Jadon Sancho did not want to leave on a permanent. He went on a loan deal. I think we are still covering 20% of his wages, I believe. So yeah, that's what happened there. Sticking with kind of the goalkeeping theme here, Paul Scholes, he says that he thinks Manchester City pulled off the transfer of the window of the summer in Gigi Donnarumma. So that was a big coup. That was a big coup to get Donnarumma. I was surprised when his name came up as a potential exit from PSG. Um, I think it was a wage situation. I didn't really read too much into it, to be honest. But I mean, that was a huge, huge signing for them. I wish we could have got him. I mean, no offense to Lemons. I hope he does well. But I mean, getting Donnarumma would have been amazing, right? Would have been absolutely amazing. Um, but anyway, also one surprise. So apparently, apparently we approached Danny Welbeck for a sensational return to Manchester United. Um, he is now at Brighton. He's done all right at Brighton. I think we were looking to bring him in as another backup striker. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I think we're okay in the striker role. I think as long as everyone stays fit, again, knock on wood, we can rotate enough bodies up there to keep the striker role occupied. Obviously, Shesko's number one. I think, Xerxes can play up there. We've seen Mount up there. I think Cunha can go up there, and Buma can go up there. Even Bruno can go up there probably. I think even Kobe Manu could go up there. So I think we've got enough people to rotate between that kind of stint, that 10 striker role, where we are good and covered. Now, speaking of staying healthy, we've got two injuries, unfortunately. Here we go again. Injury bug is back upon us. I knew it was too good to be true when I only saw Lisandro Martinez's name on the injury list prior to the Burnley match. I was like, all right, here we go, full squad, and then here we go, injuries. So, Mateus Cunha injured against Burnley. I think it was the 30th minute. You all saw it. As soon as as soon as he went down, we all gasped and we're all holding our breath and we're like, please at least walk off under your own power, right? Like, please, like, don't be the worst case scenario where you get a new signing, high hopes, straight into 11, injured early in the season, out for the season. So it doesn't appear to be that. He pulled out of the Brazil squad, so I think he's staying back at Carrington to receive treatment and rehab his injury. It's a hamstring injury, so it should be a couple weeks. 2 to 4 weeks actually. Let's be honest, 2 to 4 weeks for that. So we probably will miss him against City, which is unfortunate. Who I think are there for the taking. But yeah, we'll miss Cunha for that match. And it's a hamstring injury. You probably had it before, so you got to be careful with it, right? You got to nurse it. You can't, you can't flub your way and fake your way through. Trust me, you can't push your way through the hamstring injury. That's a very important, crucial muscle. Like, I mean, if you injured your shoulder or your wrist, you could kind of get around that. But I mean, it's your hamstring, right? And you're playing football, right? So kind of need that. So wish him a speedy recovery on that one. Mason Mount injured. I mean, again, it felt too good to be true, right? He was playing, he was starting, he was, in and around it. I mean, getting after it. You just kind of knew it was a matter of time before something happened with Mason Mount. And here we go again. And I hope that this is not the start of another somewhat injury plagued season for Mason Mount. Because if it is, then I would say we need to get rid of him next summer. If Mason Mount struggles with injuries this season, I think we offload him next summer. I think we can get decent money for him and we bring in someone else. Again, I know it is early and I do not wish that on him. But I'm just saying, if this is the start of what's to come, then I hope that we make the proper adjustments, right? The proper moves. But on the Mason Mount injury, he was withdrawn at halftime. I saw that and I was curious about that. I thought it was a tactical change, but apparently it was a precautionary withdrawal for Mason Mount because I guess he felt something. So he might be out a few weeks. I think they are waiting on scans on Mason Mount. So we will see. So honestly, looking ahead, about 11 days ahead, give or take, depending on where you are, to the City match. So it'll definitely be interesting who starts. We're obviously without Cunha and Mount. They're both starters. So it will be interesting to see who comes into the 11. And actually, on that note, I would ask you guys to please get into the comments. Please get into the comments and let me know who you think should replace Mount and Cunha in the starting 11 um, against City here, in 11 days time, again, give or take, depending on where you are located and watching from and at what time you're watching this video. So yeah, please get in the comments. Please let me know. Again, reminder, while you're in the comments, please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you are new. Again, road to 100, road to 100. We are on the way. We are almost halfway there. Be part of history. Also, quick diversion. While you're in the comments, let me know who you think should be voted August Player of the Year and why it is Lenny Yoro. Again, let me know who you think should be voted August Player of the Year for Manchester United, and let me know why it is Lenny Yoro. Let me know in the comments, and looking forward to getting in there, interacting with you. Hearing your whys and hows and whatnots as far as the player that you've chosen. Um, Quick other news. I think we are getting another new physio. I think I reported before we were getting a new physio from, was it Brighton or Palace, I think? And now we're getting someone else. So hopefully they keep the players healthy. Um, Looking ahead, we've got City, like I was just talking about, on the 14th. Will be interesting to see, who we have in the starting 11. I think we need to continue our momentum that we built up against Burnley. I think we need to, hopefully we can pick that up and go in there and give City a good thrashing. I don't think it'll be a thrashing. I think it'll be a tight game, but they're there for the taking. I think we could win maybe 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, something like that. So we will see. And of course, I will do a match preview for that game. I'll also not only do a match preview, I am going to do a live halftime show, as well as a most likely pre-recorded post-game discussion. Unless you guys want me to do otherwise. If you want me to do that live, let me know, drop a comment and subscribe. Um, so yeah, I think that's what I've got for you on the looking ahead front. I mean, yes, after City, we've got Chelsea, Brentford, Sunderland. Um, like I said before, I think we could get 9 or 10 points from these next 4 games. I think we can beat City. I think we can at least draw with Chelsea. I think we beat Brentford and Sunderland. So that is 10 points right there that I believe we will have over the next 4 Premier League matches. But just because we are on the international break for the men's side does not mean that the Manchester United action stops. Not at all. In fact, we should call it Womanchester United at this point. No, just kidding. But the United women's team, they are in action against Leicester City on Sunday. So please, please, please show your support for the women's team. I will probably do, a match preview, maybe a halftime show and a post match on that one. I gotta see what my personal schedule is looking like, but I will try to do that. And get you guys in there and updated on the women's side as they go on their quest to bring glory to Manchester United and win the Women's League. They are also in a playoff to get into the Champions League phase, or Champions League phase, excuse me, of the Women's Champions League. So let's support our women there. Last few reminders here. So live streams, they will be at halftime during the matches. Again, my schedule is daily news shows, match previews, halftime live streams, post-game discussions. Of course, I'll discuss any breaking news and anything else that I decide to cook up for you guys. So that is all I have for you today. I will see you on the next one. Peace.